Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Congratulations. Thanks for your service and your sacrifice, lifetime of sacrifice. Both of you done a great job. General, do you have any numbers on recruiting in National Guard over the last couple of years?
Senator, as I prepped for the hearing to get with both the Army National Guard and the Air National Guard, that was one of my questions, was where are they at and this year for meeting end strength. It's my understanding from them that they're both going to miss it by roughly about 700 to 800. My understanding also is that they've turned the corner coming out of the global pandemic where they weren't able to get into schools and other things where they normally recruited from. So they're starting to see great positivity there. The Future Army Soldier Preparatory course that the Army has done, is my understanding, the Army has brought in 25,000. I believe 4,500 of those are going into the Army National Guard. Production recruiters, finding assistance, ways to help the production recruiters get after recruiting, back in the schools, getting to junior colleges and those things. I'm committed, if confirmed, from my time at the Readiness Center, where every day I was focused on recruiting and retention, because we have to hire the best, and then we have to organize and train them, equip them to do our nation's capabilities for wartime and peacetime.
Yeah, I think it's so important because we're not reaching our goals in full-time military, and I think it's very important for us to, fill up or even exceed what we do in recruiting in National Guard. Would you agree?
I would agree, Senator.
Yeah, thank you. Admiral, spent some time down in Panama last couple of years, done a little research. We're fortunate to have a new president there in Molino. He thinks like we do. He wants us and to have more presence there with the, I don't know, what I've looked at and studied. Probably one of the most asinine decisions is us fully pulling out of the Panama Canal. Since 1999, making that decision in the early 80s, just talking with people down there, they're hurting economically. And when you're in that point, you're very vulnerable to Russia, China. China had their foothold in till we got this president in down there. We need to make and I know you understand this, we need to be able to hold on to the Panama Canal, because as what we're hearing, if something were to happen in the Pacific, how in the hell are we going to get things to the Pacific, especially from the East Coast, if we got to go all the way down to the bottom of South America and not be able to go through the Panama Canal if China were to be able to block that thing off or do something, damage it or whatever. You agree with that?
Yes, Senator.
Yeah. The problem that they're having down there, again, is do you have, you being the deputy, how many people do we actually have down in the Panama area that helps with the Panamanians with the canal, or do we have any input at all with it?
Yes, Senator. We generally have our SFABs teams, which are really advise and assist teams down there. But I was share with you just recently, we just completed a Panamax exercise where we had hundreds of troops working together, maritime assets, aviation assets, ground assets. And again, that builds that interoperability and that trust and confidence to kind of take on malign actors. So again, and plus it sends a strong signal that we're working together as a team. So we have to continue to do those type of actions.
Yeah, I'd really love to see this president come up and visit with our people in the White House and the Pentagon, because I think this is a huge national security issue if we don't take care of it with this president, because it could change very quickly. If they have another regime changes, their economy is really, really struggling. To another point, tell me about the cell drone that we use in the Caribbean and in your AOR. What do you think that they're adequate and they're doing the job that they need to do?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank the Navy. I think last year, or a couple of years, we got a chance to bring cell drones to our hybrid fleet. It's a new process by the Navy to actually get after with our limited assets. And one thing the partners always ask for is maritime domain awareness. So these cell drones, we've been able to use them from an experimental standpoint and operational, and they're showing promise. So I think we have to continue to work and utilize, figure out how we can use them more so into our scheme, but we do have them located throughout the AR. Yes,
Were
sir.
they used when the Russians brought their ships in, submarines?
I can talk to you later, sir. I think it's but it's a great opportunity. We've used them operationally. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
How many do we have in the Caribbean you know, do we have a dozen, 2 dozen?
Less than a dozen, sir.
Yeah, okay. You need more?
Yes, sir, we could use more. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.